Okay. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Terryn,
I'm Kalli.
and we're here to talk about all things SPU, organized crime, law and order. I got it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what order we say it. Organized crime, fanfic writing, and more. You're very much on a time crunch today, so we're gonna speed through this rather quickly and
I am on the
efficiently.
way to my dentist
You're
in
getting
like
cavities.
15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to go to
Woo!
class. I'm about to go take a midterm in like at 11 o'clock. I have to leave at 10:50 to make sure I get there on time. But we're gonna speed through this. We gotta do. There's a couple things we have to talk about before we get to the episodes. We probably won't do both of these in the same setting, so you may see like
I
a
gotta
jump
go.
cut. Yeah, y'all see like you'll see like the first episode, then it's like a jump cut to like a completely different day. Well, you see, Kyle just disappeared on me. So they were keeping this in the recording because it's entertaining. So I will clip this back. Hold on. Okay, we're back. This will be
I'm
another jump
back.
cut. Yeah, we're back. Jump cut. I'll put this. I'll be in the editing when I do this later. I'm probably gonna do it, but
Okay.
we gotta do the sad stuff, and then we gotta so we can. We're probably gonna do just SVU in this session, and then come do the mothership.
As much as we want to talk about Law and Order, we're gonna have to
We don't
talk
have
about
time
it.
right now. We're
We
gonna
don't
have
have time.
to. This will be like
Unfortunately.
3 different chunks. It will be a whole different day
Yeah.
next time you see us. Who knows?
Or
Okay,
maybe later. Who
it could be
knows?
later. Could be a couple days from now. Well, we're not going out of town. That's what I'm saying. It may be later. Continuing.
If
Okay, here we go.
I will literally I will talk through my sore mouth if I have to. This is
Yeah.
important. Okay,
Please,
anyway.
if you do that,
We have 2 pieces of SVU news. One
3.
sad,
There's
one
a couple
happy.
more. There's a couple more things actually. Sorry, continue. Well, I'll say it as you keep talking.
I'll
Couple
do the
things.
sad. I'll start with the sad
The
one.
sad one. The
Um,
sad one.
I'm
Sunday.
sure
Most of you know
all of
by
you
now.
have probably heard by now. If not, and if this is how you're finding out, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, rules.
Sunday morning, Richard Belzer passed away at the age of 78. He played Munch, so
Yeah. I learned it was a random
yeah.
fact that was like Munch is the most played character on a different show like ever. It's like 8
He
different
played it
shows
on
play
like
as
11.
Munch.
I heard 11, but
Yeah,
I
it
don't
might
know
be
which
more.
one
Is a
is true.
lot. To play as to be a character in the same character in a different show. So many different.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just Munch on all these different shows.
I know, which is kind of weird but fun. Yeah, so we're gonna do a tribute story eventually. We just haven't had time because it's been crazy this week.
We started
But
it,
started it. Yeah,
and then we
that.
were. I was like listing all of the characters who had known him, and I was like, that is a long list.
Yeah, it might
And then
take
it
us a
was
minute,
like,
but we'll get there.
do we put Elliot? And then I was like, wow, I'm really
Yeah,
bad if we don't include him.
yeah,
That
we're
would
gonna
be
do it.
wrong. As much as we don't like
So
him, we have to. Like,
yeah, we're
it's
gonna do
not
it.
right for us to not include everybody. So
Not this one.
you'll
Okay,
see. We'll get it out soon. Okay.
soon.
I'm gonna
I
waste
gotta
time
find her.
changing the shower. I was thinking that you probably.
I'm in my living room, so you're
Okay.
gonna
Okay,
hear
just gonna find the notes because we're forming a fan club to call our notes. There's that.
Okay, you look for the
There
notes while I
is okay.
say the
There's that.
piece of
Ice-T
news.
got his Star of Fame last week. I forgot what day it was last week, but it was last week, and that was really cool. There was that, and Raul's gonna be in a musical in May.
It's to Marishka's and her mom's, which is really cool.
Which is cool.
And yes, Raul is going to be in a musical again in Broadway in May.
In May, it's my birthday week, and I unfortunately cannot afford to do that. It's sad.
If I wasn't going back to school, I would try to
can't afford
there, but
there's no money because they're broke adults. Mariska was on the Today Show today. It's Thursday recording this. According to my mom, very little. They didn't talk about EO. It looks like the last 10 seconds, maybe. There wasn't EO in that.
The Today Show likes them.
Yeah, we don't like EO.
Which
okay,
it's fine.
Yeah, and then Mariska was in a music. Mariska was in a music video last week. Mariska also was in a music video for Grace Gustave. If you never listened to her music, it is great. You should listen to it. The song's called "The Cloud." Go listen to it. And the fact that
Mariska is just there is the best.
It is. It's great. Go listen to "The Cloud." She's also in 20. I think it's called 23 Days. She's in that one too. Very good. Go listen to that. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that.
She's also this new I don't know campaigning head for this fashion.
Yeah, she did that. Y'all, it's the coolest video ever though. She's a marketing a shoe company, but the video they made for it is very badass. Like, it's very cool.
And
Y'all
she
go
looks
watch it.
flawless.
She does. It's so good. I was in class and I was hot, and my mouth was on the floor. But okay, that's all. That's all the other fun stuff. The stuff.
Wait, I gotta talk about the theater thing really fast because
Okay, yeah.
so Roll is doing Oliver, which is so good. He's playing Fagin, who is
Yeah.
like the guy in the street that literally like gets boys to pickpocket rich people for him.
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily the villain because there's another villain in the show, but like the comedic relief crazy character, which is gonna be so much fun. It's perfect. And the cast itself is stacked. So many theater people. The one person that I recognize most is the one who's playing Nancy, because she's a former Elfie. So of course I love her, and she's also Tony nominated. So right off the bat, we got 2 Tony nominated stars in the show. So this is gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
That is all I think for that. Okay, so we're gonna review right now at this very moment. We're gonna do SVU 24 version, which is Dutch Tears. But also, we did organize crime already. We did it as an Instagram live stream because I don't know why we just did it for fun.
On Spotify now.
Yeah, y'all can listen to it. It took literally 3 days for it to import. So like, please go listen to it. It's great. It's a great time. We'll probably do more live stuff when we do like book story reviews, stuff like that. But anyway, follow us. Our Instagram is Truth Friend Skeet Podcast. If you want to go check us on Instagram. Anyway, sorry, Dutch Tears. Here we go. So at the beginning, there is Finn's so they're celebrating Finn for he's getting the Harlem Heart Award. So they're celebrating him, and then like Olivia has this really great speech for Finn.
That's like
she says he's a.
Also, can we have to establish the fact that this episode aired on Ice-T's birthday.
It did. That was also the thing. That was a cool thing.
So we got an entire Finn episode on his birthday.
On his birthday. It's great. Yeah, so they're celebrating Finn, and like Olivia tells part of his story, and she says he's a walking redemption story, and that is a great way to describe Finn. And like Olivia says, she's very proud of him, and it's a great moment, y'all. We're speedrunning.
She said that he worked through his own pain and was determined to help people through theirs.
Yeah,
very true. She called him a kind and compassionate man. Yes.
Yes. You didn't write the rest of it down.
And she literally said, "I'm so proud of you." And you can see Finn, like he's trying to stay calm.
Trying to be cool,
cute little
he's trying to be cool.
Little smile on his face. You could see how much it means to him to hear this from Olivia.
Yes, it's great.
And then we get acknowledgement because Carisi's there and Bruno is there.
Oh boy, Bruno. Oh, we love Bruno.
We are assuming that because Velasco and Muncie are there that they're working.
Yeah, somebody.
But we also find out that from Carisi that he said Amanda would be here, but she's working.
She's working.
And
Phoebe's also
she would absolutely be there because
she would have.
I feel like some people forget that before
they had a great partnership.
Carisi was her partner. Finn was her first.
Yeah, and they had a
Finn
great
was her first partner when she got to SVU.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
Yeah, great
and we also found out that Phoebe was working well. I'm glad they acknowledged that she was working, but also why wouldn't she have like gotten work off?
Exactly. I mean,
to be there because they're dating. Almost got married, you know.
No one knows what their relationship is at the moment, but you
know if I don't know if they literally just wanted to like get her for like that one moment, but like come on,
y'all.
I'll take the acknowledgement.
We will take it for now.
But
give that. I literally even take my shoes off. That's how like dedicated and then being ready to go. And continuing. I'm listening with shoes on, like I can't believe this. Okay,
and then then we transition to
it's Olivia and Finn are walking out of the bar. Finn's had a great time.
He's drunk. That's likely drunk.
He's like, he's gonna drive. Olivia's like, no, I'll drive you home. So she drives Finn home.
And Finn is like a happy, calm drunk.
Yeah, he's just like, he's kind of,
He's like, I'm fine.
She's like, no, I'm driving you home. So Olivia takes him home.
You're driving.
And he puts his, wait, hold on. they're talking about something, and then Olivia says, "Well, fortunately, you don't have to have a great past to have a great future." And then Finn
Um,
goes, "You have anything to
I've
say?"
done some things I'm not too proud of.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Oh.
she says that to him, or like,
And then they say goodnight, and he
yeah,
enters his
apartment. He goes
apartment.
with the pickle. He goes to the fridge to get
He
a
put
pickle. I said, "Bro, who wrote
and he
this?"
can't open the jar.
And I said, "What kind of
And
comedy they
he's
want to
like,
put in this show at this moment? Can't open the pickle jar.
for, yeah, forget it. Fine. He
No
puts the
pickle."
pickle away. He turns around, and there's the guy in his
Yeah, so
apartment
yo, yeah, we're like,
with a gun pointed at him.
yeah, we're like, yeah, that's literally what the promo was, like the whole time. That was the promo. We're like,
And
oh,
then Finn immediately snaps out of his drunk stupor because there's a guy pointing a gun at
yeah,
him.
that would knock you out of it pretty
Um,
quickly.
oh wait, before that, he put his gun down on his little like kitchen island,
Yeah,
turned the
and
light
then
on, and then the guy was there with a gun.
yeah, he's
And
like,
he's like,
yo,
"Do you remember me? Because I remember you."
yeah,
And immediately snaps out of his drunk stupor.
yeah,
So we find out that Finn put this guy away 23 years ago, and his name is Ivan Hernandez, but
his
he's
true
known
name is
as Dutch.
Dutch.
So he did this when he was in narcotics.
Yeah, that's
Because he went to
when
narcotics and he got to SVU.
yeah, and then Dutch was saying that he was
Unfortunately,
17.
it
What?
gets bad.
Yeah, it gets bad
It
real
gets
quick.
bad, guys.
But he said
Like,
Ivan was arrested when he was 17 because he sold drugs to pay for school. He's trying to pay for going to college, and then he was selling drugs. And then he tells it in a second. He's kind of but he says that, and then he shows Finn that he's like an H burned onto his chest with a paper clip, with a hot paper clip.
yeah.
And
Then Finn says that Finn and the officer, his like partner, were rough on him when they were arresting him.
yeah, because we can't do that anymore. Back then, it was fine, but now can't do that anymore.
Finn like tried to calm the guy down and tried to grab his gun, but Ivan got it and then pointed it at Finn. And I wrote, I've never seen Finn so scared because he's like, okay. And I was like, yo, is that good? Unfortunately, this is where it starts getting worse.
Yeah, it got dark really fast.
They pointed out his age for a reason. They had to point out his age. So he was 17 when he first got arrested.
Correct. Yeah.
He was sitting in his cell waiting for like
for them to take you to the I think they take you to like the real cell. He was in like the holding cell,
yeah.
I believe. There's also like a week, so
next
a little bit of a week or
thing, and like the CO left the next thing he knows, there's this big, burly, ugly guy.
He describes
came
him
in.
as
He called him cream cheese. And ugly.
Cheese something, yeah. Because he didn't know the names, we called him cream cheese. But continue.
And then he it is so hard for me to say because when I first heard this
we're like I didn't expect this one
live, like I was in shock.
We weren't expecting this to happen.
So the guy that was let into his cell, pushed him down, face down, on his bed, and assaulted him.
Yeah. That's what.
And then that's when he was branded with the H, with the paper. And then unfortunately it got worse from there because once he was in prison, and everybody saw the H on his skin, they knew that he was basically owned by somebody. So it led to him getting raped, passed around, sold, and then this is where it gets really twisted.
Oh yeah. You lost connection, but I'm gonna keep talking, so it will be on the recording. But like they made him grow out his hair and have like pigtails, and like that's the kind of, and they like he was just like horrifically abused in prison. And so Finn is like, okay, Ivan's like, I don't want to like hurt you or anything. I just want to get justice. So Finn is like, okay, we gotta talk to like SBU and we'll figure this out. So they Finn and Bruno sit with Ivan at a diner and they talk about what happened. And they show him the picture. They show him like the pictures of the officers that worked at Rikers at the time. And he's like, do you recognize any of these people like in this? And he wasn't sure. Okay, yeah, sorry. He wasn't sure if he had, but he was like, hey, if like we need you to like, did I miss something? No, not yet, not yet. Oh yeah, so he recognizes the person, the guy who did the cap, the officer who let the guy in. His name's Pete Ryan, but now he's a captain at Rikers now currently. So then Finn and Bruno go to Pete Ryan's house. Yes, they go to Pete Ryan's house, and they were like, "Hey, do you recognize any of these like guys?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It kind of just like blows them off, and like the wife is like talking in the kitchen. She's like, "What's going on?" Blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. And they're like, "We just want to talk to him," because he was like very like, "I don't want to talk to you." I think he asked for his lawyer maybe, but then Bruno was
well,
like, "Did I miss
first,
something?"
like they're like we're talking about the CO who like was part of a rape at Rikers. He's like, okay, do you have a picture of him? And Bruno pulls off his camera.
Yeah.
And points it at the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what the heck? And he says he had the guts to look at your picture. The least you can do is look at his. Because then he pulls up.
Another photo. Yes. And then
really smelled. And he said the smell you know is the feeling of suspicious guilt.
Yeah, they kind of said this in the last one, but they're sitting in Finn and Bruno are sitting in the car, and they see the wife like running out of the house. And they're like, "Where's she going? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would she leave?" And then she's going to a sobriety house, residence place, whatever. And she meets somebody. She's talking to somebody there, but they talk about that in a second. And then I forgot the line before this, but I think it's Finn who says, I think it might be Bruno or something. I have that effect on people. I don't remember what that line is from or why they said who said that. It might have been Finn or Bruno. They were talking to each other about something. It doesn't really matter because it was just a funny line. So then Finn calls Olivia because they're making this a case now. It has to be all official. And then she's like,
and then it's funny, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing up?"
I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Eventually, it's very early. By the time I think they go to bed, it's like sunrise. But that's later in the episode. This episode is for one day. This episode is like a 6-hour period, maybe an 8-hour period. It wasn't like a whole long most of the time like they are. And then Finn says something, if you can't find a good person, be one. And I think Olivia says,
and Olivia's like, but do you have to do it while the rest of us are sleeping?
Yeah. And then they're talking to like the guy at the desk. And the guy's like, I don't want to let y'all. He was like, what are you? The guy at the desk like wouldn't let them in. And then Olivia was like, she's like, I'll have to call our ADA on our case. And then he's like, you don't. She says, you don't want to know what he does when he's cranky. It's like, he's grumpy if he won't sleep. Grumpy man.
It would be. I really want to know though, because that'd be funny.
Kari's a grumpy sleeper when he would no sleep. But anyway, so then the next part is Ivan. They get back in the car. They talk. They get back in the car, and Ivan was worried that like Finn turned him into the police, which is a weird worry he had. And then they see a guy driving off, and they think that is the guy who did the first assault.
And like Bruno goes to go after him.
And he starts running. And he's like, no. Because I think he didn't want. I think because Ivan wanted him to shoot, and he was like, "I may be rich, but I like
my pension."
Like, golly. Bruno was very rich, if y'all know.
Ivan is like. Then we go back to the precinct.
Yes.
And he's explaining like this guy
The guy. Yeah.
stole my life. We also found out that he had a daughter. His girlfriend was like 6 months pregnant when he first got arrested. And Finn is like, "Did you ever have her visit?" He's like, "No, I could not. I never." He didn't want to see her to see what they had done to him because, unfortunately, we find out it got worse. Not only did they have him grow out his hair, they also had him wear makeup too.
Yeah, it was a rough time. Like, horrific situation, horribly. The next part is the part
we see. So we see the guy now, and he's. You can still see that he has the long hair because he had like a ponytail for like part of the episode. But his face is all like his face and neck are all tattooed up.
Yeah.
And then they had him have makeup on, so it was basically to humiliate him and make him miserable while they're assaulting him for their own gain of whatever sick, twisted reason they wanted him to do it.
And then the next part is the part where Ben is talking to Bruno about Munch, which is ironically sad because this was Thursdays, and that was really sad because he says that like Munch is in Baltimore. He said, living a great life. He's married again to a Jewish rabbi. I think he's pretty cool. And
a divorced Jewish rabbi.
Yeah. And he has a cop bar.
Yeah.
He's running the cop bars and he's probably running some conspiracy theories or something going on. He loves a good conspiracy.
Yeah. And Bruno was like so happy hearing about it, and Finn was so happy saying it. And I'm like, yay, we finally hear what's happening with Munch.
No, you down.
And then Sunday happens, and I'm like,
they're writing into the show probably. It may not be soon, but they'll probably talk about it eventually. Write it in because that'd be real sad.
I hope so. I'll cry.
Yeah, real sad.
Yeah, what I think they should do is it should be like near like the penultimate scene at the end of an episode.
Yeah, they
and Olivia's just sitting in her office, and she gets a phone, a phone call about
something like that. Just acknowledging her.
Calls Finn in, and it's like,
that satisfies.
Tells her
something
the,
just to
tells him the news.
Yeah, we gotta keep
and then they just sit in silence and like.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
Okay, sorry.
Next part is.
Okay, so now that
they get the guy. They get the guy. Yeah.
They have to call Carisi. And Carisi doesn't even show up in a suit because it's like.
Hold on, I'm still here. I'm just.
He's literally just in a nice shirt.
Hold on. I'm muting my mic for a second so I don't make crazy noises. I'm gonna walk and go.
Okay.
I gotta start walking. But I'm gonna join on my phone and the computer still have to play because it has to record. But it'll be saved on here. But continuing. Keep going. Keep talking. Oh, you probably don't know because you have the notes open, but
no, I have them.
Okay, 17.
Back and forth. Yeah, so Carisi shows up and he's not even in a suit. He's in a nice shirt.
It is like early in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
It's very early.
And they have to call him in. He's like, okay, what is going on? Why am I here? And they bring him in to interrogate what was the guy's name? Pete Ryan, the captain. And they're explaining everything what happened with Ivan, and the guy's like, I don't know. And at one point Carisi's like, he's like, I'm a cop. Wouldn't do this. And Carisi's like, no, you're just a pimp with a badge. And I was like, oh, that's a good line. Then we find out the name of the guy who assaulted Ivan in the first place. His name is Virgil Haddon, and he went to high school with Ryan, which is the connection there. And his nickname was the Hangman, hence the H that was burned onto Dutch's skin. Yeah. And Haddon is basically like, I don't want that Haddon. Ryan is like, I don't want to go to jail for this. I didn't really do much. And Crazy's like, well, I'm not in the habit of exchanging something for nothing. So if you want to get like a reasonable deal, you're gonna tell me where this guy is. And then we get a conversation with Olivia and all the guys of how they're gonna go under to like get this guy at the bar. And they're like looking at Carisi and it's like, are you coming? And Carisi's like, yeah, it'll be just like old times, except I'm unarmed.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, great.
He's like saying this with like a joking smirk, so it was funny.
Oh, I almost left the keys. That would have sucked. Almost left my keys.
Hello?
I almost slipped. That was horrible. I'm gonna take this midget.
Right,
So
I
get
gotta
that.
mute my mic.
No, you can keep going. I don't even know. We're still good. I don't have the notes open.
So then
well,
the guys are in the van, and we have this analogy they're doing of like how Dutch got his nickname. And on like molten glass, there's this thing called Dutch tears, where it's so hard, not even like rock can break it. It can't be broken. And then they use it to like apply it to him, and they're like, Dutch, that's who you are. Like you're still fighting for yourself, even after everything they did for you. Then we transition to all four guys in Asa Berlin's van. And we get Carisi in a coat beanie. A lot of people pointed this out that they loved how it was the guys at the forefront of this case helping another guy, which I absolutely agree. It's not a dynamic. The show shows a lot, and I really loved that they did it. They think they see the guy, but they're not sure because they're like had cops go, like the fire department, go in the bar and be like, "There's a gas leak. You all need to leave," so they could get the guy out of the bar. But it's dark; they can't see. So they have Bruno get out of the car, go up to the guy, and offer him a lighter for his for his cigarette. And in the light of the lighter, Dutch IDs him, and then they go and get him. But Dutch decides to rush him and choke him.
And they're like, you can't do that.
And Finn is like, don't let him take away your freedom a second time. So he pulls back. We find out this one guy ruined his entire life because he did not insult and mark him. None of the other guys would have.
Yeah.
And then Finn is like, Olivia and Finn are talking, and Finn is like, talking about his past, and Olivia's like, but in the last 12 hours, you did everything right. And then we transition to Dutch's daughter, Tara, finally visiting him. And she's like, why didn't you let us visit? And he's like, no, you can't. You couldn't. I couldn't let you see what happened, but now they're starting a new future. And then we end the episode with Finn finally getting his pickle. He literally pulls out a pickle jar from
and that's
the SBU fridge and gets it. Okay, that's the ending.
Like stuff from fridge.
How do you rate it?
Yep, that's the end. Yep. Review.
I give it 4 stars.
4.5. I give it.
Okay. Different. I have to go.
It gives us a very different story that they told this week. Okay.
Okay, I have to go.
No. I'm gonna very quickly say.
If I hang up, this is gonna save, right? If I hang up, this will save, correct?
Yes, my computer is in my room and it's recording.
Okay,
so it'll be on.
If I hang up, is it gonna mess everything up, or can I
go? No, you can just leave.
Okay, I will talk to you. Good luck on your midterm. thanks
All
for
right, bye.
listening to this
Okay,
crazy
yeah.
first
Part.
half.
We'll do the other part
because-
later. All right. The next part might be crazier. You never know. All right, bye. Bye, people. Jump cut for later.
Oh my god, where is this button? Okay.
You guys are a little crazy.
And we're back. Like 45 minutes later, because I took an exam. Your cavity filled. You had your cavity filled. You had a cavity filled. I took an exam, and we're like, all right, and we're back. So
Yep.
luckily, it's the
I
same
can't
day. You know,
half
it was
talk.
a miracle.
So
Yeah, it's we're doing this in the same day. I thought it was gonna be like 3 days later, but we're back. The first clip of this is hilarious because I'm like walking just in random places and making any sort of sense. But anyway, I'm crunching on time once again.
This is what we should call the episode. The truth runs deep on the road. Because
You called me. Oh yeah, we didn't name this part. Yeah, literally, it is all over the place. We're at all different locations during the recording. Continuing on. Wrong. That's the wrong one. The wrong one. Okay, here we go. So, SVU, not SVU. We talked about SVU earlier. Law and Order 2414 is called Heroes, and the beginning of the episode is this. There people at a club, and this guy was talking to this girl, and they were just
he's a rapper.
yeah, he was a rapper, and she was talking to him, and then like, nothing was happening at first, and then it's like there was shooting starting to happen, and then the lady, the girl who was with the guy, she's like, all people are like leaving because the shooting is happening, and she's trying to like help people out because like some people have gotten there's people who have gotten injured, and there's like she's trying to like go, and like she runs through the kitchen, and she tells the like kitchen guy like somebody he has headphones on, he's like, hey, somebody's shooting, you need to go, and then he like gets out, but then like and then next thing we know, she's dead. She didn't
She
make it out.
literally turns around to leave, and the gunman is standing there with the gun pointing at her, and shoots her.
Yeah, and she's dead.
We
And
find out
then
is
her
Hannah
name's
Graves,
yeah.
and she's a model. And Cosgrove says not the photo shoot she was hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, where was I? Oh, so then the team show up. Cosgrove and Shaw come up, and they're looking at the body, and he said, I think it might be Cosgrove says this. He says, not the photo shoot she was hoping for, because the people are taking the evidence photos. And then we were thinking at the time that there was a cop who was there. He was acting all kind of strange, and we thought he was the shooter at first, but it turned out to be someone else. But we'll get to that in a minute. So then they do some investigating, and they go talk to Hannah's agent. Well, I don't think it's Hannah's agent. It might be. I think it's Hannah's agent. They go talk to him, and he was talking about how the boyfriend, whose rapper name is King Magus, was like he wanted her to have another agent because he wanted more of he says urban agent, and so that's the kind of thing they were talking about because the rapper's songs I think are like he says some like homophobic lyrics or something like that. It's been like a week since we watched it. It's something that isn't good. And Shaw stands up for the LGBT community. Good stuff right there. And so then Shaw and Cosgrove are walking. They're walking out, and they're walking somewhere else. I forgot where they're going at the moment. And Cosgrove says, "Why does the rapper have to have a sneaker line? He's not athletic at stage at all." And then Shaw laughs and was like, "No, that is the most whitest thing I've ever heard in my. Oh, that is the most whitest thing I've ever heard in my life." And I was like, "You're very right about." I was like, "That's hilarious. That cracked me up so much for that." Okay, so then we're speeding through this because of time reasons. Sorry, answering text message from my mother. You always have to answer your mother. That's my spot. Okay, so then they find out that the security, they go like talk to the people in the club, and they find out that the security footage from the club has been deleted, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. That the footage has been deleted from the security.
Okay, back.
Yeah, the footage. Let's just talk about that part.
So his name is it's actually pronounced Matisse. So
sorry, I can't read. Continue.
You're right. We love a supportive king. Shaw defending the community.
We do.
Yeah, no, the fact that Cosgrove does not get it at all. He's
And I'm like,
hysterical.
white people are
He's like,
showing me.
that is the most whitest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I was like, it's very true.
Yeah. But it's just
Okay, so
deleted.
then,
He had
yeah,
somebody
because
do
of
it
the
for him.
thing.
Now, at that point, my mom was like, what if he's on the down low? Because he's like,
It didn't make a lot of sense for him to delete this footage
but
for no reason.
we find out later that he like literally got it deleted because he didn't do anything. He just ran. He didn't want anybody to know. He just ran. And you guys are like, really? So then we find out from security footage that there's this guy in a blue beanie, a red sneakers.
Yeah.
His name is Bishop Bell. And right now he's their main suspect, so they gotta go get him. And of course, as soon as they see him, he runs. And we get a chase scene.
Yeah. Again. There's one every time. It's
literally their running theme, and I love it. But also, it's like so predictable at this point. It's like, just when is it gonna happen? So, although I'll be very surprised if they do one this week, because I'll get to that.
Yeah, this week is literally like today in like 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So Shaw was literally jumping over cars, and then he tackled the guy. And he's like, they found out the guy was like the star basketball player until his knee got hurt. And he couldn't play anymore. And he's like, so for a guy with a bum knee, you can run pretty fast. They brought him into the precinct to interrogate him. And at one point, I don't know if this is like improvised or what, but Shaw literally forms a paper ball in his hands and like throws it alley-oop into the guy's like open arms just to like prove a point. It was funny.
Yeah. Creativity is funny.
We found out the guy had dated Hannah, and he sent her like threatening messages.
Yeah, he wrote her a letter. That's I'm saying letters in 2023, but okay. Pop off.
And then after the interrogation, we get a scene with Hugh and Karen and Odelia.
It's a great
which
one.
Is great because we don't usually get a scene with a lot of them, with the three of them, but it was great. And it's basically like, we know he did it, but we have no evidence, like really any evidence besides these messages to prove that he did it. And then Sam and Nolan are like, this is literally like, we will try, but this is all we got. Then I don't know. Then Violet does some more investigating and sees that there's a picture of a cop in a car who saw Bishop leaving the scene. And it was the cop who was at the scene earlier, the one that they talked to.
Yeah.
You wrote this. It says, there's no law that requires police officers to be heroic?
That's a line. That's the line the officer says. I forgot to put it in quotes, but the officer says that to them because they were like, why didn't you do anything? And he was like, well, that's the one.
And at that point, like, Nolan is talking to the guy later, and he's getting frustrated because the guy's like, I'm not.
He's like, you have nothing to hide. Like, why aren't you talking?
He's like, no, I'm not going to admit that I didn't do anything. And then we get a scene of Sam, Jack, and Nolan. And McCoy is like, will the jury buy the testimony of a coward cop? And Nolan is like, do we really have to go that far? Which I agree. We don't have to call him that. Literally, just
Yeah.
one mistake, and we don't have to call him a
Messed up
coward.
one time, and they were like, "Nah, man." Messed up one time, and then it was.
Yeah. So yeah, we do find out that yes, Bishop was dating Hannah before her career took off.
Mhm.
And one of the messages he sent to her that Nolan read in court was, "Hope you enjoy life, because it's gonna end soon."
Mhm.
And then they have Officer Riley, the officer, testify.
Mhm.
And he is able to describe what Bishop is wearing to a T, explain the scene, everything. Then we get
Yep.
to his cross, and it goes south. Because
Mhm.
the defense attorney is like, "You're a cop. Why didn't you do anything?" And he's like trying to be like, play it off.
Rationalizing. Yeah,
And
kind
then
of rationalizing.
he just broke and he said, "I froze." And I was like, ugh, that hurt.
Yeah.
And what he said continues, and it says, "Which means I'm human."
Mhm.
And the defense attorney is going on and on about like, "Why should we believe you? You didn't do anything," type stuff.
Mhm.
And he said, continues, and he says, "So you can insult me all you want, but I know what I saw."
Mhm.
Well, the next day, the
Oh yeah,
this
this is the end.
day we're already at the end already. Next day, Nolan gets a newspaper, and on the
No, the newspaper
cover,
was the first. What? No, that's not what happens. Sorry. Oh, yes, it is. You're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry, I'm getting my deals wrong. You're correct.
NYPD yellow,
Yeah.
instead of like NYPD blue, NYPD yellow, because if somebody is like yellow or like yellow bellied, it usually means they're cowardly.
Yeah.
And I just hate that this guy made one mistake, and it's like everybody's honing
Everyone
him.
just. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for all we did a bunch of other amazing things in his career, and you make one
And I think
mistake
they
and
said he was a